Oh, that's a different guy. I'm constantly just starting my stream with other people's shticks. How you doing, you beautiful bastards? Welcome back, everybody, to the Rookzer0 Drawcast. Definitely not Phil DeFranco. How great would that be? I should see if Phil was to come.
Will you threaten to throat punch everyone?
Yeah, I'll threaten to throat punch everybody until he shows up. That doesn't sound like me. Like, it probably does sound like me, but it doesn't sound like what I want to be. So.
Sounds more like Twitch Rook to me.
Yeah, that sounds more like Twitch Rook. Twitch has been a bad influence on me. But welcome back, everybody. We are here. We're going to draw some today, maybe, if I can find the right button. Everything has gone bananas. Maybe. If we ever find the button, yeah, we did it. Okay. How's everybody doing today? I am back in Discord, in the live stream, in the Aggie software. And it is viewer suggestion today. My plan today is to hang out on YouTube for maybe an hour, do a few here on YouTube, then hop over to Twitch and do a few over there. I would like to eventually just switch the live streams completely over to Twitch, because that way they are more of an ethereal thing. And I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet. Last week we just did everything on Twitch, which was nice, but now all of those art pieces are kind of, up in the air. So it might be something that I convert them all into like a monthly stream, or a monthly all of the viewer suggestions for 1 month would be kind of cool. Or I might just do a lot of the viewer suggestions on YouTube, and then do all my other live streaming on Twitch. And that could be fine. That could make the D&D podcast an actual D&D podcast. So that's definitely an option. Something we can fiddle around with and find out. But aside from that, welcome back, everybody. Like, I haven't been here in a while, so let's clean my glasses so I can see. That would help. If I can find my glasses cleaner. There it is, on the floor. That's a great spot for it. And then we'll start drawing. Yeah, we'll start doing some doodling. Hope everybody's had a nice week. Feeling quite a bit better from last week, which is good. I'm still super behind on all of my video production for the YouTube channel, but that is what it is. So gotta draw another rugby here. Ooh, that doesn't feel right. That's not the right pen. I finished another commission yesterday. I have a few more left on the docket before I start taking more next month. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to draw a chunky rugby today. Do some of this. Goldtooth, welcome.
Ooh, push and talk's not on. Give me a second.
Okay. I'm trying really hard to kind of adjust my art style to something I enjoy more. I feel like this is classic rugby. Like, if rugby was around in the 70s, this is what he would have looked like. Back when cartoon characters were, like, really messed up and kind of creepy. Maybe it's because he looks a little like Fred Flintstone right now. That's not what Fred Flintstone sounds like, but that'd be really funny if Hank Hill was Fred Flintstone. We should get on that. We can hear the Discord. You can hear the Discord. That doesn't make any sense. No, that makes perfect sense. Let's click that button. Siri, you are really roboted today, by the way. Sounds like you have a bad wire. Thank you, Corvus. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Yeah, maybe get a new wire. That would be my suggestion. That sounds like a recipe for this. Yeah, new wire time. Yeah, it's been a little bit. We switched over to Twitch, and I don't think a lot of people followed us. We had some. We had quite a few people followed us. But we switched all the live streams over to Twitch last week as an experiment, and it's working okay. That's been kind of the issue is with the Twitch streams, it doesn't clutter up the Why You Should Play series, and and with Twitch, there's a lot more people just looking for art. Whereas with YouTube, I think most of the viewers from YouTube come from the Discord. I don't get a lot of, and I could be wrong. If you guys really like this being on YouTube and you want to stay there, like put that in the comments. I think I'm gonna keep the viewer suggestion on both for sure, because I think that's a fun place. But for just regular daily live streams, YouTube is not highly conducive to that. It really kind of mucks up the channel. And if YouTube is a thing that we want to keep, maybe we make a live stream channel specifically for that. And we make it more of like a podcast thing. But that's a lot of extra work. So if we do, do they have their own live stream channel? I will suggest a Goblin writer. All right, Sinister, we can do that for you. I need a piece of paper. Where'd my paper go? Shoot another paper. There it is. Okay. I didn't upload the video from our game last week. I forgot to do that. Maybe I'll do that after this stream. Oh, I didn't do that because it was like 40 gigs. That's right. I kept trying to compress the raw MKV down to like an AVI for YouTube, which is like an H.264 or H.264. It's a specific format that YouTube likes. And every time I tried to convert it to that, my computer would crash. So I'm going to have to re-render it out, which could take a couple hours. So maybe I will, maybe I won't do that today. We're going to take probably, 5 or 6 suggestions. Aspen, welcome. And then we'll probably hop over to Twitch and do 5 more over there. We'll start here on YouTube. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a little while. And then we'll shift our way over there. I'm going to do a quick rugby sketch, which I'm almost done with here, and then we'll do our Goblin Rider. Shameful. I feel like I drew Bat Rugby. What if Rugby's not actually a goblin? What if he's like a Vaguli just with feet on sticks? Does anybody know what a Vaguli is? Pretty great. They're basically floating vampire heads. Castlevania style. And if they bite you, you eventually, your head falls off and becomes a Vaguli. It's a pretty great monster, especially because it takes a couple days to for the disease to set in. So you wake up the next day and their characters, the ears have grown longer and they're getting small fangs. They start getting furry, and they get little tendrils, and then eventually their head just falls off. I've never had anybody get to the point where their head falls off, but I have had a few players get horribly, I want to say deformed by it, but it was. They always tend to like having the pointier ears for some reason. So. Weird to see a Tengu with fangs and pointy ears. But it's happened more than once. So, it is what it is. Luke, welcome. Anonymous llama? Yeah, it is. Draw a monk and a llama. Well, that's 2 characters. Which one would you like? I guess. Do you want a llama monk? Oh, llama? Sorry, I've had a lot of people ask for me to draw llamas. But we can draw a llama monk. I think a llama monk would be fine. Do you count spitting as a monk weapon? I would say a 1d4. Or I would not give it damage, but I would allow it to do the stunning fist. Is how I would do that. It gives you like a 10-foot range on stunning fist, but no damage. All right, let's get this going. Plat. I had one character. I think I only played one session with him, but they just spit on everybody. It was really weird. He just wanted to be this tough barbarian who just spit at people, and I'm like, okay, you spit at them. Roll for initiative, I guess. I don't know what else that does. I don't know how else to roll with that. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. What's the don't bring your fetishes to D&D. That's the There are definitely people I've played D&D with that it's just like, oh, I don't want to play any more D&D with you, please. But you know, and that's okay. Like I said, not every person is for every game of D&D. Can you draw a character that is a cocktail or a cocker? However, thank you. You spell it. Got it. Yeah. Oh, that's not thank you. That's I got it. I got what you're saying. TF, yo. Something, you know, I've never seen like a cockatrice Aarakocra. I feel like that would be really cool. I mean, it would, but it'd also have like a poisonous tail, which sounds really cool. Like, yeah, that's all right. Similar monster. Oh, that's less exciting than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just a chicken that got like super cursed or something. Yep, I agree. Yeah, I absolutely would. Anything that pushes you beyond your original nature. Curses can have cool effects, but still a curse. Most healing spells are necromancy. Well, basically all I'm saying is you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all in that analysis. Any enchantment magic is technically a curse if you don't want it on you. Yeah, absolutely. There is a will save for it. Well, actually, no. I think True Resurrection just has to be a willing creature. Otherwise, it's effectively Animate Dead, which does have a will save. Same spell. Yeah. The thing I've always looked at is, once again, and this is, I've said this a few times with the only difference between healing magic or like divine magic and necromancy is consent. And I think that's the with like Animate Dead, you are forcing your will on somebody's body to animate, and then you have to maintain that spell in some cases. Versus True Resurrection, which is instead of it being your focus, you're sacrificing like a gem or the money components, the value of someone's soul or life to gift it back to them. You're trading your conscious effort in animate with the material components, and that's kind of the balancing factor of it, which is. 10,000 is like years and years of most people's life. Like most people in the D&D universe will never ever have 10,000 gold. Because think about like there's every king in existence you think would just have people that could revive them, but most people, like even kings, wouldn't be able to do that. And the ones that can do it so much that they go crazy. Like that's the Yep. Yeah, that's a weird gamble. Okay, so I'm gonna make this little goblin here. I'm gonna give him a little loincloth because I think it's funny. Yeah, I don't play that high stakes of games. At least I haven't in a long time. Yeah, in my game, I purposefully lost a fight, in which case my character died, so that I didn't have to be the king of thieves because I didn't want that responsibility. My DM was like, "Hey, here's all this crazy stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want that." And they're like, but you have it now." I'm like, "Well, I will figure out a way out of that," and so I did. Oh, I absolutely deserved it. I just didn't want it. Yeah. Like anything beyond that gets a little excessive. I mean, it can be fun. High level campaigns can definitely be fun, but like I'm really into that low level kind of like grungy death is very real play style. Because even like hitting level 5 and someone's just like, "Oh, I have resurrection," it's like, okay. I'd like to buy 4,000 gold worth of diamonds, please. It's like, sure, that's fine. Like that's where the game's at. That's totally legit. But I very much enjoy resurrections being dangerous, which I think Mercer did a cool job with adding the little kind of mini game to it, as well as just making the resources for it hard to get. I like making like finding diamonds a quest for yeah. Level 10 characters can overthrow a kingdom. Level 20 characters can overthrow a pantheon. Like that's how it's supposed to work. Level 20 characters are basically demigods at that point. That is what I just said. You're reiterating my point. It's all right. Yeah, and I think that's okay. And I think the mythic levels are pretty interesting too, because at that point it's basically like, what can you do once you are basically godlike? Which I think the mythic levels were really built out after the what's it called? It's not the Wish Stone. What the hell is it? The King Stone? Is that what it's called? Kingmaker Quest? Doesn't matter. No, Pathfinder has a yeah, Starstone. That might be it. But that's where Nathus got his godhood from, which I really dig. So with his pantheon, basically he completed the trial and wished for, I think this is right, I think he wished for like ultimate knowledge. And in doing so, he's like, oh crap, I can totally destroy the entire universe right now. Or I could make some cool shit. And he kind of got like a Dr. Manhattan complex, which drove him completely mad. I just liked that dichotomy. All right. Hello, Bri. Welcome. Sorry, go ahead. Say the last sentence again. Yeah. Yeah. I like the idea that like once someone has teleport, they basically can overthrow like destroy the economy of any location. That's why I thought it was really funny that Gilmore started using teleport to go to other cities, and I was just like, oh crap. Okay, there's my. You said Goblin Rider, and now that I'm thinking about it, I probably should have done something like a Goblin Dog Rider, but I thought of a Cavalier, so I made a little Goblin Cavalier because I like Cavaliers and I think they're funny. A mini Shetland pony, that would be pretty funny. You could still ride the like a Goblin dog. That would be pretty great. A Goblin Rider, that would have been pretty good too. It's like a small pixie or something that rides a goblin. It's like, wait, that goblin is a goblin. It's like, ah! Thank you, Bri. Yeah, more miles. I can start working out tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna go for a run a little later today. So we'll see how see how that holds up. But there's the goblin. There's the Goblin Rider. I was pretty happy with that. Oh, seems like welcome. Seems like the Llama Monk is already going. No video game characters this time, just a warrior elemental on my mind today. What kind of element would you like? Water elemental? Oh, geez. Yeah, I totally read that as warrior elemental. What is wrong with my eyes? Water. No, because I think I just misread it. Water elemental. I like that idea. Actually, I've been playing some of the new World of Warcraft, and I love their creature design in some aspects. So I have some pretty cool ideas for elementals that I want to try out. Well, I said warrior. Like I thought they wanted with the. Someone pointed out the other day on YouTube that I have done the water or the the earth and fire genasi, but not the water or air. And I was just like, oh dang. So I might have to go back and do those. Yeah. So that's what I was thinking about. I was like a warrior who's also an elemental. I'm like, oh yeah, what kind of elemental should we draw? But water elemental is cool, so we'll do that. Should I also draw the llama? The llama monk? I think I will. Well, some people don't play to metagame. Like some people play for. I've actually had a lot of people play air genasi, more so than the other. Seconded. Yeah, they all basically get one spell, resistance, and then, or do they get two spells? They're very similar. They're very similar, just with flavoring, which is kind of cool. Yeah, the sylphs. Yeah, they have the wish. I think it's like, it might actually be wishmonger or something. Wishmaster. It doesn't really matter to begin with, but yeah, it's a really wishcrafter. It is wishcrafter. Okay. I think that with, I don't know if it's just because of how it's written or what, but I think the Ifrits are a little different in the Pathfinder universe than the just generic fire genasi, because they have they have a larger culture, whereas the other ones are all kind of small and nomadic. The Ifrits are actually. Yeah. Yeah. Because the Ifrits like control the plane of fire, I think. Like, whereas the rest of them in the Pathfinder universe are all like, oh, you were the scion of this and a human, and you live in the world, and people don't like you. And it's like, where's my, plane of water world? So. Cool. I mean, I assume there's just, campaigns and stuff written in it, would be my guess. Whereas the other ones, you go into the plane of water and everybody drowns. And you go into the plane of air and everybody just falls to their death. Falls infinitely. I think the plane of fire is kind of just, we already have a cultural lexicon for the underworld and burning fire. Whereas the other ones are a little more difficult to visualize. Dope. Okay, we're gonna go big old llama fantasy pants here. And then little tiny spindly feet. I'm on a little spindly feet kick today. We'll see if that keeps going. Makes sense. I don't know where else he'd live. Be kind of weird if he was in the plane of air or fire. They call me Sizzly Cracklin'. The Burnt Kraken. I mean, if there's not Lava Kraken, there should be. And if you don't put that in your game, then you're just a quitter. You're a quitter and a bad DM. What did I have? I had the lava sharks. When I had my friends go down into a somewhat... it wasn't the elemental plane of fire, but I based the area off of it. And I put a whole bunch of bullets that went through lava. That was really fun. Lava sharks. Kind of polar. Well, I mean, there's the lava bullet, which is a lava land shark. So there's a lot going on there. Sand kraken, okay. What else would there be? Is there a lava squid? There might be a lava squid. Lava whales. If there's a lava whale, there definitely should be a lava whale. Oh yeah, you could do lava crabs. Actually, lava crab might exist. Shoot. Am I not making this puffy enough? I feel like I'm not making it puffy enough. Lava whale! That thing has baleen, which means there's also lava krill. Just want to point that out. Unless it, like... You know, you say that, whales still knock boats over. And you don't want to get knocked over in a lava boat. Oh yeah, they will fuck them up. Little punks, get out of here, Orca. Fighting Neva, but the sea is lava. Most large mammals in water can be complete assholes. Case in point. Otters. Otters are kind of dicks. Super cute. What was the... I saw like a meme thing yesterday that was basically saying, what was it? Let me think about this real quick. Oh, beavers. Beavers sometimes through evolution have just decided whenever they see water running, they're just like, I gotta fucking stop that. I gotta put a stop to that. Just, they evolved an ineptitude for deciding where water should go. It's like, all water should be stationary. I cannot deal with this. Okay, there's my Llama Monk. Whoop-a! Okay, you're gonna have to sell me on that one. Why does that absolutely fit? A fire platypus. All right, Cockatoo. Wait, so Tova, did you want or who wanted the cockatiel? Was it cockatiel or cockatrice? Cockatiel? Oh yeah, that was mine. Okay, cockatiel. Got it. Sure. Why not? Did someone ask for that? Oh, could you do a porcelain warforged monk? I'm sorry, I missed that, Luke. Let me write that one down. I think that's probably where we'll call it. So we'll get those two. We'll get the cockatiel, the water elemental, and then the warforged. How did I miss all these? Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just didn't see half of them. What is Saint 14? Oh, from Destiny? Yep. This was your thing. You can't just because we don't agree that it shouldn't be one thing doesn't mean it has to be another. And you could also do a platypus. I just don't know if arguing that it has to be there because it's so weird feels excessive. But you could definitely do a lava platypus. Well, the blood also like can swim through dirt and rock, so yeah. Anything that swims in lava is just bullshit anyways. Cause it's like your options are worms, and that's about it. Lava is not liquid. It is, but it's not. That is a pretty cool design. Alright, I think I have too many because I have 10 minutes left. Is blood elemental a thing in D&D? It absolutely could be. It is in Pathfinder, at least. I think. Bone elementals exist, yeah. Okay, where am I at? Cockatoo. Cockatoo. I heard water, and then it cut out. Water. Go for it. It cut out. Okay. That always bothered me a little bit with, why is acid its own element? Like, you never understood that. Like, acid is just a, right. Or, like, is protein an element? Like, are we gonna just start grabbing different things from nature? Like, well, I think the other problem is that basically what they're doing is they're using things like absorb elements, right? But then they're switching over to damage types, and for some reason they're excluding radiant and necrotic, even though like I would assume acid is a type of necrotic because it could deal with either natural chemical reactions or decay. Like I know you don't become acidic when you die, but at the same time, like necrotic damage, is it always just straight decay, or is it death? Like, right? So that's the thing. Like, radiant is breathing life into something, and necrotic should be removing it. And I feel like that is more magically inclined than say, this burned me because the pH level was weird. So. Right. And sometimes they used to, especially in some games like nature damage is an alternative to that. Because you could have acid could be part of nature because you're using natural phenomenons. It could be different chemical reactions. It could be poisons, venoms. I still have Unis Honest in the description. That's super weird. Yeah, I've read up a little bit about why they chose to use the term thunder damage, because thunder damage is not lightning damage. Thunder damage is concussive damage, and they used it to replace sonic damage. So, So once again, that's the thing. Like you have to make sure you're not blending elements with damage types. And damage types is solely for mechanical purposes. Like, I don't think a wizard would be like, "Ha, take 6 thunder damage." They would just be like, "Lightning bolt," and then, and then mechanically it does those types of damage. I think that's one of the metagamey things that is kind of bled weirdly. Why does it say that? It should not say that. Well, I mean, but why are you saying true elements? Like you're adding clarifiers to something that I'm unsure of why you would do that. Live streaming until Una's on a start stream. Thank you. I did find it. Okay, let's delete that. All praise those who were there for the Una's honest. Go ahead. Sorry. Yeah. Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why they worded it that way. That's all I'm arguing. I don't really care about true elements versus what's not an element, because, I mean, Adventure Time bubblegum is an element. So... So, like, that was the thing with Fifth Element. Like, love's the last one. It's like, that's bullshit. Love is not an element. Love is a chemical reaction. I don't fucking know anymore. So there's thematic, and then there's mechanical, and I think I'm curious to why the D&D crew decided that necrotic and radiant damage should be separated from those things, because like absorb elements should just be able to absorb whatever. Like, that's the whole thing. You're absorbing some kind of magic in and then outputting magic out. What makes, and this is really what everything distills down to, what makes necrotic and radiant damage excluded from all of those things? Is it because it's outsider magic? Like, because that would kind of make sense, but there's no real... I have not seen an explanation for that. And if so, then absorb elements is really just absorb planar magic. Ooh, we got some echo there. Hello, Lars. That could be. It's not like personal targeted magic, so it's not I guess it's not will based. Yeah, because you couldn't absorb illusionary magic either. I guess maybe that's what they're defining as an element, is a principal force instead of. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. We can go with that. So absorb elements should really be just like absorb force. Whereas the opposite of elements in this case would be mental or will altering, fortitude altering, something that affects people instead of elemental forces. I guess that kind of makes sense. I like that. That's a cool way to look at it. I'm making this dude real long. For arcane, for divine magic? Because there is like, there's like protection from good. Yeah. Protection from good and evil. Only because those types of magics are aligned. Ooh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's because the elemental magics aren't aligned. That could be an interesting way to look at it. I feel like I've accidentally turned this guy into an Evangelion angel. Yeah, I guess so. That does make sense. Yep. I would allow that. Anytime you want to take damage. I mean, it's only a D6 of damage, so I don't think this is... Or does it go up with your level, depending on the spell level you use? I think it does. Gotcha. Yep, that makes sense, because you're spending a reaction, you're taking damage, and you're burning a spell slot. I'm totally fine with that. I think it's really better off for the resistance than the bonus damage, because there are a lot of other spells that would do more damage and not require you to burn a reaction. Yeah. Even with my my Dragoon, I use that all the time. I think I've only ever actually hit with the attack once, and I've used it like 3 or 4 times. Every time I end up absorbing a ton of elemental damage, it's like, haha, and I just miss horribly. It's like, damn it, I am bad at this. But all right, he needs the hairpin, and I think I'm good with this one. Yeah, that's exactly what I do. Oh no, I'm sorry. I have Eldritch Knight is what I took. So I just get to pick one of those. Is that what you're talking about? Like you have to pick a specific types of spells? Yeah. Ah. No, it's a super good spell. But once again, I would say it's better for the defensive purposes than getting lots of damage out of it, because it is pretty limited when it comes to applying that damage, because you have to do it on the next turn. Correct. Which is why it's better as a defensive spell than... It's a defensive spell with bonuses, basically what you're looking at. Alright, I think that's it. I think that's the whole shebang there. Boom! I feel like I'm listening to a wizard's lecture. You know, that's fair. Like, that's kind of the joke I make with Rook all the time, is that he is a fighter and or cleric, but I took Nathus as my patron because I'm more interested in understanding magic than I am anything else. Oh, you've got Fireball, huh? Well, I've got Mace. The best defense is understanding. Okay, water elemental. So here's what I was looking at. The World of Warcraft elementals are actually built out of a few different shapes, which I think is really cool. And I think what they do is they basically, I'm betting money the person that designed them started with the silhouettes and took a very basic like rock silhouette and started carving it out. So I want to do the same thing for this. So this is going to be more of a painting than a sketch, which is going to be a little different. Once again, that's what I'm saying. It's poison magic is technically a damage type, not not an element, but it's a matter of would you argue that or not. Lars, you're getting a lot of weird feedback. See lots of clickety clackety. Thank you. I would argue that you have to look at the poison spell is the thing. It's doing poison damage. Is poison an element? I don't know. You gotta make a will save for it. Yep. Acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. Poison damage isn't a thing, is it? In D&D? Well, if you are poisoned, you just have disadvantage. Like, you take poison, but do you take poison damage or do you take acid damage? Okay. So I would say no. Okay, so here's the way I would rule it. It looks like you always make a DC save for poison, and then take the damage. So, which poison spray? Let me read poison spray because maybe that's different. Spray. D&D. Okay, so I would say that you can't absorb element poisons because you're not taking the damage directly. You are basically being forced to make a Constitution save, and then if you fail that, you then take the damage. So, yeah, that would be like a physical thing that's already. You're not technically taking damage. You're being affected by a. That's a weird way to put it, but I would say no. Right, Cloud Kill, same thing. You have because you could theoretically just hold your breath and resist all the damage to it. So absorbing that, I would say the poison is not a magical effect. The magic is creating the thing that is poisonous, which once again seems like the same thing with fire, but I think there is a difference there. Like, could you absorb elements too much beer? like you're not but you're not taking damage from the water. You're taking damage from from a reaction that your body can't stand something. Versus burning is not your body reacting to too much heat. It's just, I mean, it kind of is. That's what I'd say. It's semantic, but I would say no. I think that's why poison damage is output, because it's not magically derived. The magic is summoning that stuff, but nope. I would say no. I would always argue no. I think if you're taking the like that's the whole thing with dwarves. Like dwarves have a very high poison resistance, and they can drink a butt ton. Like that, I think. So they can still be drunk, but if you have an immunity to poison, you cannot be drunk. You do not suffer the ill effects of alcohol. Tough stuff. If that's a thing your character likes. That's the way I would rule it. Okay, now I gotta make this slooshy. How am I gonna make this? I'm gonna do. Whoa, that's a pencil, not a pen. There we go. Ooh, bloop, bloop, bloop. That's a weird thing to say. I don't agree with that. I think you can have very caring druids. Where does that come from? Why would you argue that the druids are supposed to be? That's one interpretation of a druid. If you choose to play your druid that way, that's legit. But that's the fallacy right there, is that, like, you're assuming that the archetype is the, like, as intended, which I don't think that it really exists. Because especially with the way D&D is structured now, there are so many variants to the archetypes that the archetypes are basically just suggestions. That's not true. Yeah. This is pseudo-political. Who said this? Shoot, I watched this the other day. Someone was talking about, basically, like, they were talking about social bubbles. So, like, Facebook or Twitter. And a lot of people are worried that when you are exposed to those specific environments, you only see your bubble, and they're worried that you're only seeing the things that reinforce your beliefs. That's been a big worry for a lot of social media. But what the real issue they were having was that it's not that you only see the things that reinforce your beliefs. You only see the most extreme of the other side. So if you don't play a paladin, you only ever hear about the lawful stupid paladins. If you don't play a bard, you only ever hear about the horror stories of the seduction bards, right? But there have been tons of players that I've played with that have not played lawful stupid paladins or seduction bards, but I don't talk about them because they're not as outlined or outliers as the other ones. So not as noteworthy, yeah. So really, it's not that the archetype is those things. It's just because we aren't playing them normally. We only hear about those outliers and the most radical of those archetypes. Because yeah, I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you don't really think about until all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I've played with a lot of really cool clerics that weren't healers, and I've played with a handful of paladins who are really cool. Like Kima is really cool. I still think there are. Oh no, I've totally forgotten the character's name now. I did an art piece on it. What was it? It doesn't matter. The point being, there are a lot of characters that will play something to the effect of, I think they play a druid, but they're playing like a paladin. And when I say that, they're not playing lawful stupid. They're playing, very code-driven. And that can be really fun. And I think that's the beauty of D&D, is that you don't have to do that. Drink the forbidden water. Drink the water elemental. Inhale the air. Ace, are you trying to get high on elementals? That's not cool. Yeah, I guess so. We talked a little bit about that a long time ago. Someone was really, really hated Genasis. I don't remember who that was. Maybe that was Mr. Apples. I don't remember. But they were like, can I just command flame and turn off a fire Genasi? And I'm like, I mean, yeah, but I would, one, have them roll a will save for you to turn off their fire, and then two, on their turn, they could just reignite it. If you just want to be a butt about it and just keep putting their hair out, that's totally your prerogative to burn spell slots to do so. What's that? Yeah, that's the Genasi harasser. Yeah, exactly. Please don't. Please, we don't need more bad jokes. Okay, lawful stupid is someone who is a paladin, normally, this is where the term comes from, who is a lawful good, except their issue of lawful good is, that man stole an apple, we should murder him. And it's that might be excessive, or to the effect of, oh no, the whole village is going to be burned down because this guy is an asshole. We should kill that man, or we should chase him down and bring him to justice. It's maybe we should save the village first because it's on fire. No, justice first. And it's you're going to let thousands of people die just because that's the bad guy. You're no longer lawful good. You're lawful stupid. It's people that follow their code to the letter and don't actually think about the extents of it. And so, yeah, that's what lawful stupid is. It's to be a good character, you should basically try to do your best. And if it's, especially with paladins, my thought is always you should follow the intent of your code, not the letter of your code. Right. Yep. Another prime example of it is basically, if there's a rogue and a paladin in the same group, the rogue will basically always... This is completely hyperbolic. The rogue says, we should just steal all the information and go, save the town. I would say that's very chaotic neutral. To where the paladin's stealing is wrong. It's so we let the town die? I'm gonna go do this because it's gonna save 1 million lives. And he goes and steals it, and then the paladin's you have to be brought to justice because you stole something, or you killed that guy. To where I would say the rogue is being a gray area. He's trying to do the best he can. He's trying to be good, even though he might be doing bad acts in the process. Whereas the paladin is not being good because he's blindly following rules, and I would actually push them to a neutral alignment. And that's how that works. And it's kind of the bad one is do we torture this guy for information? It's that's evil. It's well, we're trying to save people. It's yes, but you're making an active choice. Your character is evil now. So it's a weird gray area. And that's why alignments are always really tough. And I generally tell people not to focus on your alignments. Let the DM worry about your alignments. Focus on what you think a character should be doing. And if they're a super stickler for a code, cool. You know? Don't be stupid, though. And sometimes, if you see something like, the only way we can save this town is by murdering a giant tower of orphans, and the paladin's just like, I can't be a part of this. I have to leave the party. That's legit. Like, I think that's a legitimate thing that a lot of people don't do. Instead, they get really upset and like, that's not fair. My character wouldn't do that. And it's like, that's fine. Go away. Like, sometimes the party has to split on their decisions. Sure. Ah. Well, so that's the thing. When I say you have to leave the party, I mean you're done with that campaign. Like, it is totally fine for a character to walk away from a campaign. It just has to happen sometimes. If your party is shifting a way that your character wouldn't do, it's okay to leave. Like, it's totally fine to leave. And then that might mean that you have to roll a new character, or maybe there's a new campaign for that character that the other players have to start. I've done that a few times. It just is what it is. I like this water elemental, by the way. I think this is pretty dope. Bloop, 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 bloop. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of contention that can happen between players because their characters don't mesh. It's just not something that they thought would happen. And in most situations, I think a lot of it can be relegated. Is that the right term? Mitigated. Can be mitigated by basically just discussing in game with your party. I think we should murder the Tower of Orphans. The paladin says, I cannot abide by that. There has to be another way to do this. I think we're being lazy. Let's see what other options we have. And some DMs I have played with do that kind of stuff just to force their characters to suffer. And for the most part, once again, that's not group storytelling. That's, I'm gonna hurt your character and it's fun for me. And it's like, that's not cool. Don't do that. just like the opposite of where people are trying to basically purposefully destroy their DM's plans because they think it's funny. And it's like you need to follow what the character would do, not what the player thinks would be funniest. Exactly. Yeah. Like, if the DM says, no, this is literally the only thing you could possibly do or the world will end, murder those orphans. Like, it's like, I don't want to play this game. Like, I've done that. I've done something where I've basically stood up and walked away from a table. It's just like, I'm not into this. I'm not going to play that game. Like, my character is out. He's out. I'm done. Yeah, I've had people do that kind of thing because they think it's really funny, and I'm like, this isn't funny. Like, this is once again, don't bring your fetishes to the table. Like, if you just need to come to a D&D game to, like, wreak out pain on people, like, hey, let's make this a Saw movie. It's like, I'm not into that at all. I'm not here to torture my characters. Yep. If that's not what your character would do, peace out. I once had my players. This was a long time ago, and I have played many games with these people since. A king showed up, and he's like, "You finally found the sword that we can use to save basically the kingdom from this giant evil lava god. You should give it to me and I'll reward you. And they're like, we don't trust you. And they threw it into the volcano, which summoned the lava god and killed everybody. One of the party members survived, and he was just like, I think we're done. And I'm like, yeah, no, the campaign's over. Like, you guys fucked up so hard that that's it. Like, everything I'd planned is gone now. You finished. That was it. It was done. Because it's just like, you have to let the players do what they want, but they should be doing it in a way that, you know, makes the story good, makes it fun. It was a really good story, and I used that as the basis for future stories where, like, 20 years ago a giant lava demon ravaged the countryside because some wayward adventures just really fucked up. So I've had a lot of fun with that stuff, but yeah. Lawful Stupid is just following the path of something with zero thought. Zero thought at all about the ramifications of it. And Murder Hobos kind of go that direction. It's basically the same thing that happens with Murder Hobos, but they think they're following a code instead of just chaos. Water elemental done. Yeah, Chaotic Stupid is the other one. I steal it. There's 5 guards. I stabbed them. It's like, okay, I get it. Common Archer was Chaotic Stupid. The follow-up campaign where the water... yeah, and then we just have a kaiju battle where the water elemental and the lava elemental fight. I could do that. That could be a one-shot someday. Porcelain Warforge, and then I think we're going to call it... It's 11:20 already. Maybe I'm not going to stream on Twitch today. Maybe we'll be fine with just YouTube. YouTube Wednesdays. Porcelain Warforge. I really like the Porcelain Warforged idea. It does not. It does not force you to do that at all. That is DM discretion. DM and... I think killing them is the easy solution. I very, very frequently try to not fight, which is weird because I love fighting in D&D. Like, combat is the best. But if I can convince somebody to just walk away, I will do that. Lars can attest to this. What are the 2 things I love doing? Stabbing people, paying goblins to walk away. Get out of here. In fact, here's 20 gold coins. Convince that guy to leave too. Okay. How much is your boss paying you? Yeah, the choice of just hack and slashing your way through is the easy. I think it's kind of built into us, especially with games like Skyrim and the alike, because those games don't have the depth that D&D does. Like, the developers have to decide how can you get through the situation, and games like KOTOR and stuff give you some options to do that, but for the most part, it's just combat. Combat is the solution. That's what this game is. There's one mechanic, it's slashing things. Whereas with D&D, like, bards can be very, very persuasive. Intimidation can be really funny as a way of mitigating combat, as well as stealth. It just all depends. Most people build very damage-heavy combat parties, and that's fine. And in that case, hack and slash, like, great. But it doesn't have to be the only option. Or you can just tell the king to go fuck himself and leave. That's what we did. Oh man, no, it's totally D&D doesn't force you to do anything. That's kind of the beauty of it. Is you can really do whatever the hell you want with it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So when your DM is forcing you to sacrifice yourself, it's like Goldtooth wouldn't do that. He's an evil, selfish son of a bitch. So he just kind of leaves. But the kingdom's like, yeah, fuck the kingdom. I'm not dealing with this. It's not my job. Yep. Yeah, and that's really what the story should be is figuring that out versus just one being forced to do it or two, just rejecting it completely. Like that should be the story. That's how the story should be played out. Is how do you come to that conclusion? Yeah, well, that's tough. It's hard to write that way. All right, thanks for hanging out today. Let's do some of this. I think I want to do something like plates. If I'm going to do porcelain, I think I'm just going to do like samurai armor. Yay! Oh, geez. Ah! Sorry about that. Yeah, I had some weird college D&D experiences where people basically tried to make a Saw movie, and it's like, I hate Saw movies, right? It's like, yeah, my character's not down for that. Like, you don't have a choice. It's like, sure I do. I'm going home. I'm gonna kill your character. It's like, that's fine. Bye. I'm good. I'm not into this. That was really funny. Well, we accidentally solved. Yeah, we accidentally solved the riddle. I didn't realize they were like compounding riddles, and so we accidentally solved the third part during the second part, and I was just like, "Oh, I get it." And I didn't tell the rest of the party, so I just left. And they were like, "Wait, what's going on?" And I was like, "Oh crap, they can't hear me now." Well, shit. Oh, I would have just destroyed everybody in that room. It would have been so bad. Yeah, so I had them in my pockets, yeah. That was the thing. I had everybody's weapons on me, and I left. I left the room, and I was supposed to give the weapons to everybody, but I went through the door, and then nobody followed me, and I was just like, what's going on? Come on, I'm not the only one that figured that out. Apparently everybody else is not as aggressively gambling as I am. But, yeah, it was fun. That was a good little encounter thing. Fun campaign. I honestly think I maybe should have gone Paladin instead of Eldritch Knight. I think that might have been more interesting. Like taking a Paladin level with Bahamut. That's kind of the thing. Like, I really like Shield. Like, Shield spell works really well, and it feels really basically just like shrugging off all these attacks. So like Shield and Absorb Elements, I think are super good for that build, because you're just like running forward into combat with just the lance, and then just like kind of digging through, clawing through combat. But I don't know if I'm using Eldritch Knight to like its full potential. Besides that, because I'm not really casting many spells. I really like the kind of the way the weapon system works, where I can't be disarmed and I can summon the weapons back to myself. That feels really good too. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. But see, I think maybe that would have been a better way to play that character. Would have been to basically build just a straight paladin, and then have the armor give you the dragoon theming, instead of trying to build out mechanically the dragoon theming. Because then having the helmet give you like a fire breath, or the boots giving you the jump spell, I think that would have been a better way to go around it, in retrospect. Because now that I have all the abilities on the like the spear and the helmet and stuff, it just Eldritch Knight seems less important to the build. Yeah, no, that's absolutely the case. But with the equivalent being that, like, I only needed Eldritch Knight for like 2 levels. It's like, yeah, I should have just built a paladin and just not had those for 2 levels and like slowly built up to it, instead of trying to build all the mechanics into a level 1 character. I think that's part of the problem, is that I had the character build out too fast instead of building into a dragoon. I just tried to start as a dragoon. Which it's, yeah. Exactly, yeah. Maybe even build a subclass for Paladin that is like a Dragoon subclass for Paladin of Bahamut. That would have been cool. And then at level 3, I could like, once per day, you can cast Jump on yourself. Like, dope. I don't know. I don't think Dragoons fly. The jump is the important part. Just bounding about. Yeah. I definitely think Hadari is probably one of the best characters you've made through this campaign. Like, I really like Hadari. He's one of my favorites, and that's why I'm waiting for him to betray us. I will tell. Yeah, I've straight up said that to him a few times. And I think that's a fair. It's like, listen here, you're my best friend. If you betray me, I'll fucking murder you. I will destroy everything you are. What was we gave him like a super powerful weapon. We gave this NPC. We're like, none of us can use this staff, but that'd make this NPC super powerful. Let's do that. Maybe with a masquerade type face mask. Oh, that's interesting. Sorry. Yeah, I could. Oh man, you want to put a face on the mask? That defeats the point. Freaking hate drawing faces. Yeah, so we gave him a big staff, and now it's always like, can we trust him? Should we take that staff back? I don't know. Maybe we should. So we have a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with Hadari. I do think he's one of the best characters you've made so far. Yeah, definitely good. That's only partially what happened. Fuck that town. See, Toa says, I've been trying to match bard spells with Zelda songs. So Disguise Self is Sheik's song. Charm Person is Sarah's song. And the emotional song is Healing. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, especially if you can get like the soundboards for it, or like an ocarina, and just learn them yourself. That would be really dope. You know, I would love you to make me an ocarina, because the one I bought from Amazon is garbage. Well, if you make one that's worse, it would probably still be better than the one I have. So, like, Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, if you want to do that as a YouTube video or something, I will definitely help sponsor it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could even do it as one channel and just have them be different. Like Druidcraft be its own, just a series. I think you could easily do that. Where did I get the Ocarina from? You know, I don't remember. I went on Amazon and I bought one because it was like $20 or something, and that was just Christmas presents one year. I was like, I'm gonna buy an Ocarina for everybody, and we can learn how to play them. It'll be fun. And the one I got was just not great, and it makes my cat go crazy. So I start playing, and he runs up to me like, "What's wrong? What's happening? Are you okay?" And he's just like, "Ma, what's up?" Oh God! The other cat just runs. All right, I think that's probably a good place to call it. It is almost noon. Did I get all of them? Warforged, Porcelain, Warforged. It looks like something exploded in his face, which I kind of actually like. Maybe if we could etch the eyes in a little different. But yeah, I just bought just a generic Ocarina from Amazon. I don't remember what the place was called. Could also be that I just suck at it. Like, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to work as well. One of my friends knows how to play one pretty well, and he's tried to play it. He's like, this one's weird. I'm like, yeah, it's a little weird. So I don't think it's just me, but it could be. Yeah. Usually when I buy instruments, it's very much a go try it, find one that fits you. Whatever. The Ocarina Christmas present was not a well thought out plan. It was very much a like, hey, that'd be fun. Okay. I know what's wrong with this. The eye is too high. Here's really why this looks so funny. Scoot. Better. But I think that's probably where we're going to call it for the day. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. That was a weird, long dissertation of magic. but it was a fun day. We got all the stuff sketched out. Those will all be in the hashtag Discord and Draw on the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord, go check that out. Could stream on Twitch for a little while. Maybe I'll just take Wednesdays off on Twitch. Maybe we'll just do Wednesdays on YouTube and the rest of the week on Twitch. Tomorrow, we could go play the game on Twitch. I don't know if I need to do that, though. I did finish up that commission last night, so I'm going to take a day off before I start the next one. We could probably play a game or something. That could be interesting. We'll figure that out. I'm going to go make some lunch real quick, and I'll be back in 30 minutes or so. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Tomorrow may or may not be a Patreon game, because we didn't finish last week, so we might do that. That could be really fun. But if not, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep your dice on the table, everyone. We'll see you next time. Oh, I can't rate anybody today. That's a bummer. Go to YouTube. Watch some YouTube art. Yep. All right. Catch everybody later. Title card. Wrong.